Hello there, everyone. Uh, I'm here to express an opinion that, you know, is developing and is a bit more multifaceted now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. Uh, and it's going to be wildly unpopular for a person in my position to have this opinion. Again, organ donation is being brought up, and I well, I'm not sure if it's fake news or something that's low key that I've picked up on or what exactly. But rest assured, behind closed doors in the medical community, it has most certainly been a story for a very long time. And they've been wanting to push legislation that allows them to come along and take your organs when if you should pass at an unfortunate age or for other reasons. And those other reasons I don't know offhand. Um, anyway, I saw this on my Facebook news feed. I shared the link on my Facebook page, so if you know my Facebook, then it's right there for you to read. And read between the lines, you should. And I'll tell you why. Okay, Nova Scotia is supposed to be um, pushing legislation for presumed consent. Now, what in the fuck does that even mean? I'll tell you what it fucking means. It means that unless you expressly say no, they're gonna assume you said yes. And hold the phone, but fuck off, okay? Fuck off. Uh, this is me making my declaration of saying no. Uh, oh, yeah, like they're giving you the opportunity to opt out. So you have to declare if you're donating organs or if you're not donating them. And from what I'm reading from this Global News article, they want to limit the powers of the next of kin. As of right now, if you're in a situation you want to donate organs, that's your thing. If you're well understanding of the situation, then that is a good thing for you to do. In some instances, people don't know what they're doing, and the next of kin will say no for them. And what I'm reading here in this, little news article is that they want to limit the power of the next of kin to say no, which means people who are, their, brain isn't working, like if they're comatose, vegetable, whatever, and their organs are of use, they will presume that you have said yes, even though you're not capable of saying no. And they want to limit the powers of the next of kin and their ability to say no for you. And people go, oh, but it's such a noble act. Why would you want to say no? Why would you want to say yes? You have no say in where your organs go. They take them, they do whatever they want from them. They may not even go to anybody at all. They may go to scientific research. In all likelihood, uh, most people probably don't have ideal condition of organs, but any excuse to start chopping people up and having a look inside them, yeah, Big Brother government type organization will consider that. That's a conversation that's been going on behind closed doors a long time. Um, and a person in my position who is, I'm physically compromised because of the medical system. I have to take medication because of psychiatric medication I had to take before, which basically keeps me from, curling up into a ball and being in a very bad place. It's a physical problem that I have, not a psychiatric one, a physical one. And they got all kinds of medications that can do all sorts of things. Uh, Give you jaundice, all the symptoms and problems of liver illness and disease and kidney problems and all that sort of stuff. And they might do that to put the frighteners into somebody who speaks up against uh, these medieval witchcraft doctors and scientists that want to push this legislation forward, because they're not doing it for noble causes. They're doing it because there's a lot of money to be made in them. Organs are worth a lot of money, as I said in a previous video on this topic. But they don't want to pay you anything, and they want to act like it's a big deal for them to do it, and it's such a noble thing, and you're not going to get anything out of it. But it's like they're doing you this big favor of you handing over, tens of thousands of dollars worth of your body parts. And this is all, body snatchers, Frankenstein bullshit, like I said before. And well, on this news article, what was the asshole's name? Oh, Dr. Adrian Robertson. Guy looks unfit to be a used car salesman, let alone be a doctor. And I understand the risk of being, someone outspoken about this on social media, where if they don't want anyone to see it, no one's going to see my video. I understand the risk that, they may go, well, what if you need an organ in the future? We'll put you at the very last of the line, because they are petty fucking assholes. They really, really are. You can't have an opinion that contradicts theirs. Well, you got a problem, assholes, because guess what? I'm not the only one who's going to have this opinion, and you're not going to see everybody who has a similar opinion as me. And your, rubber little dinghy, the life raft you have for this program, it won't take much to sink that raft. It won't, and it doesn't deserve to fucking move forward. I mean, I feel bad for people who, need organs. That's not nice. Being in a situation like that, that's very unfortunate. But I also don't agree with doctors getting the legal power to come along and take yours away. Don't agree with that at all, because this is the beginning stages of it. That's more what the problem is. They're loosening the restrictions they have. That's what they're really doing. You have to see them for what they really, really are. And these benevolent, noble doctors, scientists, things like that, they're not benevolent. They're not noble. They're trash. They do things they'd never do themselves. And they want to lay the guilt trip on you. And, you're not even allowed to know anything about them. And they're making lots and lots of money off of experimental procedures, the ascertaining of organs, which there are very wealthy people who will pay big, big money for. And, it's creepy stuff, There, people out there like that. But it's true. And there's nothing worse than people gathering around a phony baloney reason to enact evil things. And the Humboldt Broncos thing, very tragic thing. I do feel bad, even though I couldn't tell you a single name of any Humboldt Broncos player, don't know any of their faces, don't even live in that part of the country, and all that other sort of stuff. It's a sad thing. Lots of sad things happen all the time on this planet. And, it's not being selfish going, it's not my problem. What is my problem is assholes like Dr. Adrian Robertson wanting to change legislation so that we have to give up our organs. We have to do it for the state. Excuse me? But fuck you. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? Fucking savages, really. And, like, they're not actually offended by words like that, really. I mean, they would be if you called them to their face, but, they're actually, they're something else. They're monsters. Uh, yeah, this opt-out program that they have, they're downplaying that as well. Essentially, they don't want people changing their minds once they've signed up for it. And it's creepy how easy it is to sign up for it. I'm sure it's a little more difficult, but to get the beginning stages of it, all you have to do is be drunk one time, go on the computer, have them watch some indoctrination video telling you how great it is, and you go to their website. What is it? It's something like Donate for Life or something like that. I forget what it is. For Life is the last two words of the web page, and it's like, yeah, that's a bit of play on words there because it's for life because it's extending somebody else's life. True enough, but it's also you can't back out of this deal, and you're getting nothing for it. Absolutely nothing except praise from, if you get that, from idiots. And, as I said, the fellow like myself, who they like to paint as the bad guy, the mentality I despise about this, and I have chalked it up to what I dub as the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool philosophy, which is if somebody is deemed as the bad guy, it doesn't matter what you do to them, they are the bad guy, and it doesn't matter. And you can laugh about it, you can be the most despicable person in the world, and it doesn't matter. I don't like people like that. That's sanctimonious. It's pretentious, and it's a scumbag quality. And whether it's effective or not is irrelevant. It's a disreputable human being type quality, and lo and behold, um, they will willy nilly start calling people the bad guy so that they can do whatever they want. And because most Canadians are fucking idiots, I'm saying that as Irish as I can, fucking idiots. They really are. They don't have to have much evidence of somebody being a bad guy or any at all, really. They typically go along with whatever said by whatever authority figure. And, like they always show, the best image of what organ donation is. Here's one from Erica Horgan. I highly doubt it has any relation to Horgan, the NDP leader of British Columbia. Highly doubt it. An issue of consent to next of kin is a gray area. Horgan donated 70% of her liver to her neighbor at the age of 21 and has seen firsthand the improvements to her neighbor's life. Gee whiz, that's a great story. There's even a picture of them. You can see where the scars are and things like that, and they're smiling away, you know, doing something good deed and then turning around and perpetuating an apparatus of evil negates the good deed you did. And Justin Trudeau, that guy is all about that. And you get dumb motherfuckers who say, oh, but he's so well-mannered. He's so polite. Yeah, well, that all goes out the fucking window when you're doing fucking evil things like that. I don't care how fucking polite you are. I don't care how pleasant you are around your public face anyway. You're still a piece of trash. Don't make up excuses. Don't go, well, this is my public persona and everything bad, that's what I have to do, blah, 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 blah. Shut up! Oh, what the fuck other bullshit is this? I mean, I understand, the desperation of people who need an organ and things like that. And, that could be the Bart Simpson episode of The Simpsons where he wanted his soul back and he was going to take Ralph Wiggum's soul to get it back. And it's like, yeah, you're getting a little creepy there. And, I have no idea what goes through the mind of somebody who needs an organ, but, I can't imagine it being honorable, noble thoughts. In that desperate estate, it's hard to imagine that's what it would be. Um, I um, am disgusted at even looking at any Humboldt Broncos support group things. It's a facade. It is a porcelain mask covering up an evil act. And I made a video when this happened saying, look, this is a reality check. They made money out of this tragedy. And there are the people out there that sick and that twisted that all of a sudden it doesn't matter that it happened. It's that they got to make a lot of money out of it. And, you'd like to think that we don't live in a world like that, but we do, unfortunately. And, it takes an informed public to see through this petty veil of an atrocious abomination waiting to happen. And, not really in a position to do anything about it. I mean, I wouldn't, but I will state that I do not agree with this situation, and that there's a lot of things that need to be considered, and there is some good, even though there's just way too much evil in this whole thing to possibly, excuse the situation. Um, It's not the answer they want to hear. They don't want to hear that. They don't like that. They despise that. They hate being called out for the hypocrites that they are. And as I said, people who talk out against the system are going to get demonized for it. They are going to be, the bad guy, quote unquote. And, healthcare is denied to a lot of people. People think Canada think, oh no, 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 everyone gets free healthcare, blah blah blah. For one thing, it's not free. For two, no, a lot of people get denied it actually through various ways, and they use clever wording and things like that that I don't understand, and they waste your time, give you the runabout. And really, Canada is just a big experimentation center. Um, Yeah, they're griping because we don't have enough organ donators. And you should see the facts that are written on the wall, and you're really like, who the hell is going to want to go with this program? Unless it's somebody you know and you care about and you really want to help them out specifically, and that's the way it is, then, nobody's going to want to do it. And, ideally, that's not going to be a system that works, but this system they're proposing is another one that isn't going to work. Um, these people are sick. They've got something seriously wrong with them. And, far more capable people are going to be able to explain this in a way that makes sense to Canadians as a whole. Something that Justin Trudeau likes to say. He's speaking for Canadians. He's doing this. He's doing that. And he knows what's best and to trust him. Look how nice a guy he is. No. He's Justin Trudeau, he's, like, got no respect for him. I got none. Okay? I can see the only point in what he does is to cater to the stupid into thinking that, everything's fine, everything's great, blah, 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 blah. And then he tries to creep in, nasty, horrible things. And this is one of the creepy, nasty, horrible things he's trying to creep in. And, I got no respect for that. I mean, some people are going to go, well, that's selfish of you, keeping your organs for yourself. Nobody wants them anyway. You've been drinking alcohol your whole life. Oh, gee whiz. Sorry, I'm not very keen on you coming along and, hacking me to pieces. That doesn't sound like fun. That doesn't sound like something I want to happen. A bunch of can't even think of the damn words to describe how horrible these people are. Fucking joke. I'm just looking at this Adrian Robertson again. He's on this global news thing. It must have been on the television. I didn't watch it on the television, but this thing must have been on the television. What a total greaseball. I mean, like, yeah, like, call me whatever names you want. You know, that's your prerogative. However, I'm definitely going to call this guy out. Like, he's not fit to be a shoe salesman. And, yeah, like, you could imagine, like, some people out there who need organs, and if they were to sit through the entirety of this video I'm making, it would probably make their blood curdle. It would be boiling over, and they'd be, enraged at me because I'm saying, yo, there's two sides of this story, and rather than your wishy-washy, bleeding heart bogus story, people got to hear the facts of what this is really about. And don't you try and change it around with propaganda saying how great and wonderful it is, and all that bad stuff. That's a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, and anyone who says that is a bastard. And they go higher up the bureaucratic food chain, and people understand that, hey, there is two sides of this story, except the rhetoric changes to whatever state. I have no idea what it would be for them, but there is a chain of command, and the higher up you go, the more unreasonable, the more of an asshole, the more despicable, the more repulsive the person in charge is. Me, I'm at the bottom. I take, crud from almost everybody. And, I don't feel like somebody coming along and making decisions for me that are wrong, just simply wrong. And this whole presumed consent, I'm getting back to that right now. Okay, right now you have to make it declare. They want to push legislation that makes it so that you have to declare it. This is going to happen in Nova Scotia. Sooner or later, they'll creep in propaganda in the background of mainstream media where it becomes more socially understood from their perspective, at least. And people, as they develop into the people they're supposed to be, get indoctrinated as slowly but surely over time. This presumed consent and the declaration is going to slowly disappear, and people will have to work to actually say no. They actually have to go through the bureaucratic process simply to say, no, I don't want you hacking me up when you feel like it. Or, should something happen, which would be how they start. And then, uh, yeah, this is the layer cake for sure. There's so much going on here. And as I said, this could be fake news. This could be specially brought up to induce paranoia on the next mental health patient's Facebook newsfeed. Well, guess what? It worked. And there are reasons for that. And, it's a typical, distrust for people who like to remain in anonymity and have fundamental flaws in their pathetic rhetoric. I mean, here, look, I'm a stumble bum, alcoholic, and I still can see through the lies easily. And, maybe it's too easy to see through the lies. Maybe there are components within the own government who are not interested in seeing this program move forward because then they know that, sooner or later they're going to be in the same boat. Perhaps that's the reason. We don't know. That's speculating on something that we have no idea because, as I said, it's all done behind closed doors. But this is definitely a subtle hint, if not story, suggesting where the government wants to move with this organ donation program. And you do have to be concerned because sometimes they cook up stories like this to distract the people from something else that's even worse. I can't imagine would be worse than forced organ donation, but I'm sure somebody else has thought of something worse than that. Ugh, what in the fuck, man? Where the fuck did we go wrong? That picture of the evolving ape into the man, and then the man meets his future self, and he has to turn around and go, "Hey guys, we fucked up. We got to turn around, and go the other way." This is one of those times, and people go, "Oh, look at you. You're hunched over. You don't even have good posture. How can you make good decisions?" Well, I don't know. How can people who want to steal people's organs make good decisions? I don't know. What do you got to say about that? Despicable. Absolutely despicable. And so long as things are within reason and people are well informed about their decisions, and they're not put in situations where they can't change their mind, where there's a website that all they need is your name, your birthday, and your health card number. So theoretically, somebody who doesn't have your best interest in mind could get the program started for you if they ascertain your care card. Hold the phone. How does this process start that simply? And then you're on the radar, and then it escalates from there so easily, and it still be the honorable, noble thing. To me, this is a good deed rhetoric, extremely evil thing. That's what I see it as. That's what it looks like. And, you know, is this really what the world's turning into? This is supposed to be civilized civilization, and it sure as hell is not looking like it. More and more, you see people with, fucked up opinions, and as Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force on one of my favorite episodes said, "I'm on my land. This is America, which used to be a great country before they started letting people like you do what you want." And you know what? I share that sentiment. Fuck those people. Fuck them. They're assholes. And those poor wretches that need organs, very sad. Hope they find someone willing to donate their organ and understand it. Because I got to tell you, like, if I were, back in my early 20s and somebody pitched this story the way how the medical system would, that could fool anybody. And supposedly you're old enough to make decisions like that at that point. You know, there has to be a multitude of people, and the number one person to make the decision has to be the person. And for whatever reason, if they're not capable of doing that, it has to be someone who has their general best interests in mind and doesn't see a profit motive. So basically means doctors, get the fuck out of the decision making process. Don't deserve to be there. And with your mentality, you should be first in line for donating organs if you want to, support this cause in this fashion. And no, I ain't gonna have nothing to do with any kin that want to push forward this uh, thing. Not that I'm concerned about that, but yeah, you get a girlfriend, all of a sudden common law, all that shit, and then they're like, well, they don't tell you right away, and it's like, well, they signed you up for organ donation. The fuck are you talking about, man? I don't want to do that. Uh, ugh, this is all like so many possibilities and outcomes, and you know, misunderstandings, and oh, you didn't understand? They want to take your organs. What's not to understand? It doesn't get any simpler than that, yo. That's creepy stuff, and I'm talking, a web camera, and I know people are probably watching this video live, and it's all like, well, gee whiz, what if some of them have some really nasty opinions that they got, and aren't afraid to be mean to get what they want? Like, why don't you like not think that way? Why don't you try being nice for a change? Anyway, yeah, some people are going to say you're being selfish by not voluntarily giving your organs, and therefore you're the bad guy, and then therefore they can do whatever they want to an individual like me, like steal my organs, and everything's good, and the Canadian public, which is a herd of animals essentially for the most part, very few of them have brains of their own. They're preconditioned to think a certain way, and therefore they are predictable. Um, you know, it's is it's creepy, but you can't let these thoughts take over your brain, man. You can't always be thinking of this sort of stuff, and I don't. Oh, believe me, I don't. I've got my hobbies, and it's not just alcohol. I got other hobbies too, like collecting jerseys. In case you didn't notice, along with my 600 other YouTube videos I've made, I got my interests. And right now my an interest which shouldn't be something I have to think about, but having read this rhetoric, I guess I do have to think about it, and that's keeping people from doing whatever they want with my organs. I don't like that. No, 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 no. You know, yeah, yeah, we're not doing that. Anyway, I will talk to you bastards later. And bitches, slags, cunts, all the bad names I can think of. Whether that actually does anything to stop them or not, I don't know. Uh, but yeah, we're gonna, trail off this YouTube video, and I will talk to you people later. I want to get back to making hockey videos. The conspiratorial type theories there. They're more interesting. Well, things. Anyway, have a good one, and yeah, I'll talk to you later.